In this how-to video, you're going to learn how to access MyOpenMath, which is a free program used in the Math 45 course. The first thing we're going to have to do is request an instructor account, which will be down here. If you're an instructor, request an instructor account. Unfortunately, you can't just create your own login information. You have to be verified that you are in fact an instructor at Chaffey College. So you'll simply move through clicking a college or university. The college is located in the United States, in California, and you will type in the Chaffey College zip code of 91737. The only option when you search will be Chaffey College. At this point, you have a couple of ways to verify that you are an instructor. One way is to provide a school website that shows that you are the instructor. You could provide a course schedule to show that you're the instructor of record for a particular course. You could upload a picture of a school ID indicating that you're a teacher at Chaffey. But if none of those options work, then another option is to send an email to me, Doug Yagi, and I will be happy to verify that you are an instructor. However, once you end up going through the next page where you indicate all of your personal information, you'll have to email me to ask me to email support@myopenmath.com. Please put that in the email so that I can do so. Once you fill out all of your information here, you will request the account. You'll receive an email from MyOpenMath, but that's not the last step. You need to really make sure that you're emailing me so that I could verify that you are an instructor. Once you get the verification email that you are an instructor at Chaffey and that you have your login information, you can now come to Canvas and that you would have downloaded from the Canvas Commons. And the first assessment you will find is in set theory. All of these assessments will have a question mark icon. First time you click on this assessment, it's going to load for a little while because it's trying to recognize who the instructor is. The first time you click on this, you're going to have to log in through Canvas with your MyOpenMath login information that you just created. At this point, you have multiple options about how to deal with these sets assessments. First thing you could do is you could click on Teacher Preview. This here allows you to attempt various questions. It allows you to see all of the questions that are in the assessment. And if you want to find out a particular answer for a question, you could just simply click on the key and it will indicate what the answer is. You can actually modify any questions that you choose to within the assessment as well by clicking on LTI. And you have all of these options about how to modify questions, how to change settings, how to look within the gradebook at each of the individual students' responses. And sometimes there might be an error that a student emails you about, and you can change their grade directly through the gradebook here. First thing we're going to look at is how to modify questions within the assessment itself. At one point in the last semester, some of my students were indicating that they were answering a particular question that they really felt was right, and numerous students were having the same issue. So I have a couple of options about how to deal with this particular issue. One potential option is to just withdraw that question. But I really did like that question and I wanted them to attempt it. So another thing I was able to do was to create a text that just indicated that if they ended up answering it correctly, I would go in and modify that individually. You can see that all of the questions that we have chosen all have videos associated with them that are also all closed captioned. The benefit of doing this is that when students are attempting these questions and they don't know how to do it, they can watch a video that's similar to the problem that's in there, and it's already closed captioned to ensure accessibility. You can preview any of the questions by simply clicking Preview and taking a look to see if this is a question that you want to include within your own assessment. In addition, when you come over here, you could change the settings for that particular question. Or if you know HTML, you could also edit a personal copy and change the features of that particular question. Sometimes a student may contact you about an issue that they had within their own assessment. So you can click up on the LTI link again and go to Gradebook. This will show all of your individual students and the percentage that they have within all of those assessments. If you click on one particular, you can see what they got on all of their individual assessments and access the assessment that they emailed you about. Why don't we click on Finance Part 2, and this particular individual has begun it but has not completed it. Perhaps they had an issue and they feel that they got a question correct. You could see what the correct answer is and make the decision on whether or not they deserve credit. You can then give them credit for individual parts. You could give them full credit on all parts if you choose to, but you just need to make sure to come all the way down to the bottom and save changes. Now, one drawback with Canvas is that even though this would modify their correct total, she started with 3 out of 28 and now it's 6 out of 28, you would have to figure out what the conversion is to be a point total out of 10 and change that directly within Canvas. Unfortunately, it doesn't automatically override the Canvas score in the gradebook. Now, in general, everything can be done through Canvas when it comes to MyOpenMath. But there's one thing that has to be done through the MyOpenMath website, and that's if you choose to add another assessment once your course has already been downloaded from the Commons. The way to do so is to log in, to go into the particular course that you want to change on the left side. You'll come all the way down to the bottom and add an item. You can add all kinds of different types of items. We're going to add an assessment. We call this assessment a test. As we scroll down here, I'm going to say hide all the dates because all dates can be modified through Canvas. And you can modify the settings if you choose to, okay? But I like to choose to copy the options from another assessment just so that it maintains all of the settings. All of the assessments have the same settings, so we'll just click on any one of them. We're going to create an assessment. So now you'll have to select a library as to where to find the topics that you need. There are thousands and thousands of topics and different types of questions. So perhaps we want to look at maybe linear equations. I'll click on any one of these. And we'll say use those libraries. Now, what we like to do is try to find the problems that have videos that are closed captioned. So we're going to sort by info right here. We're now going to scroll down until we find the questions that not only have videos, but videos that are closed captioned. They are going to be in different areas here, but it looks like they were all the way at the bottom of this particular page. So now I'll just preview the question here, see if I like that question. And if I like that particular question, I can then click on the box over here to add it. I can do that same thing over and over, preview, see if I like it, click on that one. Notice that at the bottom there are more results, so if you do click on more results, just first make sure that you click add in the bottom left corner because we want to add everything from this page that will now show up in your course or in your assessment. You can now click on more results and do the same thing. Info to sort and scroll through to see if there are any more videos that are closed captioned, and sure enough there are on the next page here. You can still go through again, say that you like that question, click on this and add. So at this point you now have all of the questions that you want within your assessment, and we are now going to click done. At this point, you have now created your new assessment. Unfortunately, it is not automatically exported to Canvas, so you have to do that on your own. The way you do so is scroll to the top here and go over to Export. You're going to export only the select individual items, and you're now going to find the assessment that you created. We're now going to come down and download an export cartridge. That has now created a file that you can import into Canvas. When you go back to Canvas, you can import existing content. You will copy a Canvas course export package, and it will now ask you to choose the file. The file will now be in Downloads, and it will be the export package that was just created. When you open that, click Select Specific Content and Import. And that is now imported, or is going to import into your Canvas course, which will now make it available for you to put within any of your modules. If you still have any questions about anything regarding MyOpenMath or anything handled in this video, please don't hesitate to contact me at doug.yegi@chaffey.edu. Good luck.